Some of the default iron sights in Rust are just not good. With a small amount of money spent, you can make your life so much easier with certain skins in the game. We've also got a sponsor this video, so if you're looking for some decent Rust servers, head over to War Bandits. It's 2026 now and so many new skins have been added to the game. You guys seem to like my last pay to win skin video. Now while there was a lot of good reception, also in the comments there were a few that I missed. So this video will cover all of those skins that I missed and all the new ones that you need to know about because these new skins are so cheap. As you can see on screen, we've got our giant pyramid of guns. Now, I will say, in my inventory, as you can see here, is a bunch of weapons that actually don't have either skins in the game or any pay-to-win skins. Of course, if you think I'm wrong, and for some reason there's a pay-to-win Eyoka skin, I've never really heard of a pay-to-win Eyoka skin, only a pay-to-lose. Pay-to-lose for my bank account. This thing is so goofy though. So yeah, if there's any skins that you think I've missed, just let me know in the comments, but I'm pretty sure when it comes to these weapons here, there's either no skins for them or there's no pay to win ones. Now, I really don't say this a lot in my videos, but a sub and a like on the video and a hype if you're on mobile would go a long way. It would mean a ton to me. But I don't want to waste any more of your time, so let's get straight into these skins. Now, in each of these boxes for every individual weapon, I've picked out the cheapest and the most expensive and the mid-range pay-to-win skin for each type of weapon here. First up with the bow. Now this is the most expensive one, this is the Blackout bow. Now personally, I can't even believe that I'm incorporating a bow as a pay-to-win skin. I said this in the last video, but it does have this cutout area here on the top of the bow. In certain situations, whether you've got low ground or high ground, seeing through that could be quite helpful. However, in my opinion, kinda silly. Now this is the Black Ops bow. This one is much cheaper and looks so much nicer with the red string and the see-through parts at the top there. This skin, in my opinion, is a steal. It's one of the best bow skins in the game, just because of that red string, really. Super nice. And last for the bow skins, we have the construction site bow. Doesn't look too great. Obviously, all personal preference, but it does have the see-through aspects here. And this one is the cheapest. Moving on to crossbows. So there is two main crossbow skins that I could find here. First one, in my opinion, is the worst one, and the most expensive is the Cargo Heli crossbow. Now, as you see when you aim down sight here, there's quite a lot of see-through gaps throughout the entirety of the crossbow. It's quite OP, to be honest. However, my personal favourite is the Stinger crossbow. This thing, you can actually see a whole lot more, and I'm a fan of like blackout skins anyway. I think the skin just looks a whole lot cooler. Moving on to the Waterpipe. Now, there is one Waterpipe skin in the game that is pay to win, and it barely even changes the sight. This skin is pay to win because it glows in the dark. Now, a lot of people would say, wait, no, isn't this actually pay to lose because people can see you when you're holding a weapon? For this specific skin, I would agree with you. Yes, in this case, it could be pay to lose. However, if you really don't have night vision goggles and you want to be able to see exactly where you're shooting, it's not the worst thing in the world. But considering how expensive this skin is, I probably would not use it. Moving on to the best weapon, in my opinion, in the game is the DB. This thing is broken. We have two skins here. First up, I will start with the cheapest right now, is the Afterburner DB. Now, the only reason it is slightly pay to win is because of that aim down sight. If we quickly compare this to a normal double barrel, you can see the middle there is completely, well, you can't see through it at all. Compared to this one, it's quite open, pretty good. And the skin doesn't look too awful either. Now this DB skin is brand new. This is the Double Love DB. This is actually a really cool looking skin. This was from the new Valentine's Day drop, so the price is, as of recording, stuck at £1.48. However, this could go up, could go down, you never know with these skins. However, with the aim down sight here, it's not as transparent as the Afterburner, but you do have some visibility there. This will be the last shotgun skins in the game that class as pay to win. We have the Pump Shotgun. First up, the most expensive one, we have the Polymer Shotgun. Now, both of these skins do not change the iron sight whatsoever. They are simply glow in the dark. So here is the Polymer with the red dot iron sight there. And we have the Frostfire with the blue. And the Frostfire is much cheaper. And personally, I think the blue looks a bit cooler. Now, these are not like the Waterpipe skin. If you're going third person here, you can't even see it that well. It is the tiniest little dot. So it is not a pay to lose skin at all. If you don't have night vision goggles, definitely this could be helpful. As far as the skins themselves go, Polymer looks pretty, military-like, it's alright. And the Frostfire, which is definitely my favourite of the two. For the Revolver, we have 3 skins. Originally, the Heatseeker was king. If you know anything about pay-to-win skins, the Heatseeker was the king of the majority of pay-to-win skins. However, recently, there's been a lot of newer ones which are much better. The Heatseeker, compared to the normal Revolver, does have a good amount shaved down on the iron sight, and the iron sight itself is ever so slightly see-through. It's a downside that the Heatseeker skins look awful. However, as of very recently, we have 2 new skins here. Now, I'm going to cover this one first. This one is called the Old Pirate Revolver. This thing is also pretty much brand new. Came out when the naval update came out. If we look at the aim down sight here, oh my god, compared to the Heatseeker, it is night and day. It just looks so silly, to be honest, but definitely a pay to win skin. And if you like the pirate theme, it looks cool as well. However, last but not least is the Olympus Revolver. Now, this has the exact same aim down sight as the Pirate Revolver here, but I think the skin looks amazing. It's like Thunder Gold meets Black Gold. I don't know, it's just super nice. This is the one that I personally always rock. The semi-auto pistol, we have 3 skins here. Now, this was actually one of the skins that I forgot in the last video. People reminded me that the BSAP does exist. Now, just for reference, here is a normal P250, and if we pull out the BSAP, which is the cheapest of these P250s, you can see that the sides are ever so slightly shaved down, and you got quite a nice red iron sight there. And of course, there has to be a Heatseeker. This one also has the transparent iron sight. Personally, I actually don't like the transparency. It throws me off a little bit. I don't really know why, but some people like it. And last and maybe least, I don't know, this skin doesn't look that good, but we have the Direct Threat P250. I don't think it looks great, and this skin costs £54 as of recording. Insane. However, there's, I guess, a reason. Look at that iron sight. It's literally floating. Definitely the best one, but £54? No. Not for me. We've very nearly finished our bottom row here. We have the Python. Now, the Python hasn't really had any new additions. I'll go from most expensive first. We have the Blackout Python, and sadly is my favorite. I'm just a fan of the Blackout skins. If we pull out a normal Python here, you can see it's quite clunky at the front of the iron sight, and with the pay to win ones, it shaves it down completely. Second most expensive is the Heatseeker. Once again, has the transparency on the iron sight, so you could argue that it is the best one. As I said before, not my cup of tea. And the skin itself, garbage. Then we have the Redemption Python. Now, this skin does look very good. I like these a lot. Once again, very similar to the Blackout. And the cheapest one is the Chrome Bombshell. Now, the aim down sight is, well, the same pay to win, but it just doesn't look that great. The side of the skin looks really cool, but I think when you aim down sight, I don't know, the colors aren't great. And now we have the custom SMGs. Now, in the last video, I had a comment saying the Alien Relic was a pay to win skin. Now, I understand what they were saying. Yes, it glows in the dark, the iron sight does. However, the entire gun glows in the dark. And of course, don't want to mention the price of this skin, it's ludicrous. So, in third person here, you can see that this skin is quite visible to other people. Much like the Waterpipe over there, I actually will say this is definitely not a pay to win gun. For your bank account, it's pay to lose, and arguably in the game, it's pay to lose as well. Now, the second most expensive pay to win custom is the polymer. Now, once again, most of the polymers do have the glow in the dark iron sights just like this. That's why it is worth so much. However, the actual iron sight itself, there's no change to the default one. This is just pretty standard compared to these next two, which is the Ruin SMG. As you can see, the sides compared to this one are completely shaved down. You just have the iron sight tip there. Could go pretty well with a Forest Raiders or Temple kit. And the cheapest one is the most recent, the Ghost Halloween SMG. This thing, much like the Ruin, has the shaved down iron sight. Moving on to the next row, we have the SAR. Now, there's quite a few variants of the SAR that have pay-to-win aspects. Now, there is quite a lot of SAR skins that look like this, where the actual middle section is sort of shaved off. It's a bit more visible compared to the default. This one here is called the Nuke Vibe, and it's really cheap. It's like 70p. Now, there's many other SAR skins that have this sort of style. However, it is not the best one. The best one is either the Heatseeker or the newest Hellcore. As you can see, there's only one bit of iron sight, and that's where you're aiming. The sides are gone, It's kind of stupid looking, but it is pay to win. Here's the Heatseeker version as well with the transparent iron sight. So this is the next level. Once again, my hate for the Heatseekers will never leave. However, the Hellcore here is pretty cool looking actually. I really like this skin. And this one being one of the cheapest, I would say 100% go for the Hellcore. Now I do have another one here. This is the oldest, I guess, first pay to win SAR. This is the Imp SAR. It's like £17. It's overpriced. But as you can see, it's very similar to the Nuke vibe, where they just cut down the middle section. Okay, now this one is kind of crazy. I really am asking you guys, what other Thompson skins are pay to win? Because I can only find the Heatseeker. Now, I'm not talking Twitch drops. I know there's very many Twitch drops. There's the So Winter, there's the new XKev Thompson, there's loads. But I'm talking ones that you, right now, can go and buy, because all those Twitch drops are ended. The most recent ones are done. They ended on the 15th. So if you're new to the game and want a pay-to-win Thompson, it looks like you can only get the Heatseeker. Here's the default, just for comparison. Cuts down quite a lot. Tell me, guys, I was struggling. I really couldn't find any other pay-to-win Thompson skins. I'd love to know. Now, the last SMG is the MP5. Now, I've only really picked two. There's quite a lot of pay-to-win MP5s. However, I've gone for the absolute cheapest one and the best one. The cheapest one being the Termite. Now, when I say there's lots of pay-to-win MP5s, they all have this very similar iron sight here. If we actually pull out the default MP5, you can see a comparison of how bulky this thing is. It's crazy. So yeah, this is definitely pay to win. I wouldn't say it's the best looking skin, but it is super cheap. But the best one, sadly, is a Heatseeker still. This thing looks like a blowpipe, has no side part like the Termite does, no bulky iron sight. It is like, it's like you're aiming a blowpipe. Oh my god, it actually is. It's so similar to the blowpipe. In fact, I'm going to keep this blowpipe in my inventory and wait until we get to the LR, because this is uncanny resemblance. So yeah, for the MP5, it sadly is the Heatseeker again. If you think I missed any that have this level of pay to win, let me know. But I know there's a lot of MP5s out there that look like this. But the Termite is the cheapest one. Moving on to the LR, we have 4 LR skins here. I will start with the most expensive and sadly my favourite. This is the Space LR. Now this thing just looks great. It's a brilliant skin. When you aim down to sight, the iron sight actually glows in the dark, which is super helpful. And once again, in third person, people can barely see it. And a nice touch is that when you reload, it actually tells you the amount of ammo that you've got on the left. Of course, it also tells you in your hotbar, but it is a nice addition. And it doesn't block anything because your arm's there anyway. 100% my favorite, and it is the most expensive, but it's not that expensive. As far as aim down sights go, we also have the Apocalypse Nomad LR. This thing is super cheap. Doesn't look good at all, and it cuts down a little bit of the iron sight. If we quickly compare it here, you've got this giant ring. No one wants that. So yeah, these ones do cut it down a little bit. We also have the Azure Snake, which is also cheap. Does the exact same thing, but let's be real, once again, the better one will be the Heatseeker. Now this is why I kept the blowpipe in my inventory, because look at this. This is stupid. In fact, the Heatseeker LR, there's less going on this gun than there is the blowpipe. The blowpipe has nails at the bottom there. But look how similar that looks. That is crazy. I would never use this in game because I think it looks disgusting. I will always use the Space LR over this. But if you want to save a bit of money, go for the Heatseeker. Now there's not many for the M39. There's 2. The worst of the bunch is the Redemption M39. For comparison, here is the default. All you're really getting rid of is just that middle iron sight, the circle section, and the skin looks pretty nice. I like the Redemption line. But the best one is the Phantom skin. Now this removes quite a lot compared to Redemption. You're getting both of those side pieces removed and the middle iron sight. And if you like Valorant, it looks like the only skins. Not a bad looking skin at all. And it also helps that both of these skins are pretty cheap. Now, in the last video, we did not have a pay to win skin for the HMLMG. There's been quite a few HMLMG skins that have been released. However, there's only one that's pay to win, and that is the Blackout LMG. If we show the default first, it is an extremely awful iron sight. It's so bulky, I hate this. And then we compare it with the Blackout, you're removing so much, and the actual iron sight there is way more visible with the red tip. Pretty decent, and I'm a fan of the Blackout skins. But yeah, that's the only one for the HMLMG, and considering new skins are coming out for it every single week, I'm sure there will be more to come. How can a bolty skin be pay to win. There are only 2 pay to win bolty skins, and they both do the exact same thing. Much like the pump shotgun, they have glow in the dark iron sights. So this one here is the polymer bolty. Yeah, it does its job. I mean, who's using a bolty without an 8 times? Of course, it's very situational. Both of these bolty skins are around £5, so it's all personal preference, because the next one is the Glory, which is actually my favourite. I prefer the white iron sight here. And please, no one tell me in the comments that this is pay to lose because it glows. People cannot see this when they're looking at you. As far as the skins themselves go, they're okay. I wouldn't really use them. The polymer's cool. Definitely the best of the 2. Now, much like the HMLMG, the SKS only recently just got its skins, and there's only one pay to win one. And sadly, it's a heat seeker. Now, when I say pay to win, for this skin, I say it lightly. The only real change is right in the middle where the iron sight is. It's slightly shaved down. To be honest, there's not that much of a difference, but it is a change, and it's the only one for the SKS, so I might as well show it. I think it's a crime to put a skin on this SKS because I think the default is just so clean and good looking. But yeah, they've done it. Can't change it now. And now for the best gun in the game, we have the AK-47. There's actually quite a few pay to win skins here. Now the iron sights don't change drastically, but let's go through these. Now these 3 AK skins in my inventory are all glow in the dark sights. The skins and iron sight themselves don't change that much, and they're not that special. Other than the Glory. This thing is £240. Please don't buy it just for a pay to win sight. There's better ones. Starting off with the Anubis AK. This thing only ever so slightly glows. Pretty much not worth it. Then we have the Glorious AK. Once again, it's actually a really weird way of glowing. It's the tiniest pixel. It's like you almost have a pixel crosshair on your screen. And the most expensive one, and definitely the better glowing skin, is the Glory AK. It glows a whole lot more, but for that £240 price tag, yeah, I'm not doing it. Now, of course, none of these skins actually change the iron sight, so we're not going to be using those. We're going to be using one of these 2. Once again, sadly, it's a damn heat seeker, or the Olympus AK. I will show the Olympus AK first. The biggest difference is just that middle iron sight being raised up ever so slightly, and the outline around the iron sight has been just completely removed, and it's got quite a nice red dot iron tip there, and the skin itself, beautiful. I'll say it over and over again, the Olympus line is so good looking. And for the heat seeker, it doesn't actually raise the iron sight, which could make it worse. It just makes it extremely transparent. In fact, unless you're a massive fan of the transparency, I wouldn't go for this. It is definitely not better than the Olympus whatsoever, because the Olympus removes that whole middle iron sight part and raises it, compared to this, which just makes it transparent. So once again, the heat seeker gets beaten by the Olympus. Last but not least is the rocket launchers. Now this one is slightly controversial. Now there's only really 2 that I would suggest. First one being the Black Ops launcher. This has quite a nice transparent view here, and the skin itself looks great. And of course, the newest RPG launcher. Now this thing is great for PvP rocketing because you can see so much more on the right here. It is a very thin rocket launcher. And the other aspect is that when you reload the thing, you can see which rocket you've got loaded. So this is an incend and the rocket is red. Here's the default rocket, and here is the green high velocity. So that is always a great help, even though now with the newest update, you can actually see in your hotbar which type of ammunition is loaded. But it's a cool feature just to have it visually right in front of you like that. Now, if you don't run a crosshair, the RPG is really bad. You can't really ADS with it properly. The sight just doesn't line up like the original rocket launcher one does, like this. And even if you have a crosshair, taking out auto turrets with this thing is not fun. I've actually had it before when I'm trying to take out turrets with a crosshair, because if you aimed on sight, clearly look, it just won't hover over it. If I was to hover over it like the launcher implies, I will be aiming all the way to the left here. And I've had it in game where I'm aiming at this thing and my crosshair's on it and I just miss. So for taking out turrets, I'd always suggest a normal launcher, and if you're rocket PvPing or just using normal rockets, the normal RPG is the way to go. Of course, this RPG is a bit more expensive, coming in at £5.19, that price will never change, and the Black Ops launcher is actually really cheap at £1.05. I really hope this video helps you decide which skins to actually use in game, and if you think I missed any, please let me know in the comments, because I personally would love to know. It would mean so much to me if you could subscribe and like. We are approaching 3,000 subscribers. I actually can't believe it. Thank you guys so much. And if we could hit that target and more, it would make my life. If there's any specific type of Rust video you want me to create, let me know in the comments, because I'm always open for suggestions. Thank you so much for watching. Have a brilliant day.